G'day everybody, Duckville here. We're bringing you a game from the Team Liquid this week in Replay's Razor Pack number 28. It is from new recruit to Team Liquid. He's a fantastic Terran player who's been proving himself all over the place. He's been knocking out players left, right and center, dealing with GSL pros in Code S and all that sort of stuff. It is LiquidTaeja, who's going to be starting up here in the blue on Cloud Kingdom. He's going to be facing off against a Protoss from IM who loves, I swear this guy loves just trolling around with his name. His current name is IMReady, so he's ready to go, or perhaps he's ready, I don't know, maybe he likes a lot of book reading, that sort of thing. But his previous name, you may know him as IM Nuts, which of course is another great trolling name using the IM tag. But yeah, as I said, Taeja just joining up with Team Liquid, which is a fantastic acquisition from them, for them, I should say, adding on another Terran to help out Jinro, of course, the only Terran on Team Liquid until just now, and of course this will really help out Jinro in his cause to try and get up and get some really good sort of results in tournaments and that sort of things. He'll be able to practice with Taeja, steal some of his builds and all that sort of thing, which is of course lovely to see. But Ready has not been too much of a force. I believe he was brought out a couple of times in GSTL by IM, but nothing too notable from what I remember. But I didn't actually get to check too much. Yeah, so it looks as if Taeja's going to open up with a very fast command center here, not even going to get a Rax down, and he's going to get that started. Very reminiscent of the way the Brood War pros would go about a TvP, and it looks as if a probe does come along trying to get some damage on that the SCV that's building the command center there. Gets away, loses a little bit of health on the probe there, which is a little bit of a micro mistake there from Ready, but it looks as if he's not going to get too much more damage done because there is an SCV chasing him all the way. Taeja making sure that no more further damage can be inflicted by that probe, and of course the one game that Ready got out of that was a little bit of scouting. He got to see that the Rax had only just gone down, of course, after the very quick command center here. Meanwhile, back at base here for Ready, he's got the gate up. Looks as if we're going to have a one gate expand. In fact, that is certainly what is going to be the case. The Nexus goes down. We're just going to wait and see exactly what units he goes for. He's actually done this before the Cybernetic score, as we can see coming up just now, which is not the most traditional way of doing this particular build, but of course upon spotting that Taeja went for that very quick command center, you can actually just sort of sacrifice the delay, and obviously what the later cyber means is that the Stalker is out a little bit later. Normally you'll see either the Stalker first or second, and then of course the Warp Gate tech is a little bit later. So Taeja doing his own little bit of scouting here, just going to poke away at some of these probes. Can see that the Nexus went down at the natural, and of course that the cyber is on the way. Probably going to keep an eye on if that starts spinning, and yes it does indeed, so it's not going to be any crazy sort of cheesy stuff here. I did see that the gas was going down, although he didn't see that the first gas, but you can sort of assume that that's there, otherwise none of this cool stuff would be turning at all. So it looks as if a Stalker is going to be the first unit out for Ready. Meanwhile, back at home for Taeja, he's got a bunker up and a second Rax has been completed, so we're going to have a few Marines coming out. Still no gas at all from the main or the natural, so this is going to be a little bit later on the tech path here for Taeja, so he's just going to take a little bit of time, get a couple more Rax down. It looks as if it is going to be, yes, another 2 Rax are going down, just to make sure that he can get a good, adequate Marine defense up, while he then expends a lot more of his economy on getting his gas up, and we'll probably see the double gas go down in the main. There it is, beautiful timing here. We probably won't see the third and the fourth for just a little bit longer as well, because you don't, when playing bio like this, you really don't need that extra gas just yet. That sort of comes a little bit later when you head up towards that factory and starport tech. So Ready, meanwhile, has gotten his own third gas already, so he'll probably be going for a very quick sort of tech here. Looks as if he's doing this really interesting. This is a little bit of a new style of the one gate expand that I've been seeing. A lot of players like the very traditional method of the one gate expand is to get your one gate, get your expand, as otherwise, you know, that'd be kind of pointless. And then you would grab another either 2 or sometimes 3 gates. It's very dependent, but normally you'll see a quick 2 gates straight after the Nexus goes up. A lot of players I've been catching the reps of lately have been getting this very quick forge and getting a very, very quick +1 armor. This obviously leads to a slight deprivation of the amount of units that are out on the map. Of course, you'll probably only see a Stalker or 2 and then a couple of Zealots as well by the time this goes up, but it does mean that Zealots will take a lot less damage from Marines if there is a certain Marine timing that comes about, and of course when a Terran sees that a Protoss goes for that sort of 1 Rax expand, the 1 gate expand, normally they'll look towards something like a +1 weapon attack, which is what you would normally see. And of course you'd need stim with that, and as we can see, TvP is getting both that and combat shields prepared. So that's something which is just slightly changing. I'm not sure if this is going to completely change the way the games are played by getting this very fast +1 armor, but it's certainly something to consider if you're doing it yourself. And also, this is something as well that sort of follows behind this quite a lot, is this very quick Templar archives. Going to try and rely on the fact that the Terran is not going to have too much of a big sort of mech presence. Of course, when you find out that your opponent is going for just a lot of bio, you can just try and leave the Colossus alone for just a small period and get some storms up. And storms, while a little bit more difficult to control and actually utilize, are actually really good for dealing with bio. So it looks as if Ready is going to go for that, but meanwhile TvP is getting his own 3rd base up. It looks as if he's going to head this command center across to the 3rd base just along the ridge there and really get his economy going. As we can see, he is sitting on 3 gas at the moment, so we'll probably see there's the factory and there is the starport, reactor on the way as well, and +1 weapons around about 1/3 of the way through. So he is definitely going to go for, I would say, just some sort of poke at around about the time that the +1 weapons is complete, and he'll probably look to have at least 2 medevacs out of the reacted starport once that switches over, and he could look for a really nice timing here. It's going to really depend on what Ready has ready. I'm doing my best to try and not utilize that pun, but there we go, I had to do it. If TvP can push in at the right time, he may be able to capitalize and just sort of take advantage of the fact that that the Protoss will not be ready in time, but given that there is going to be a lot of Storm available for Ready here, he's already got 4 Templar. We'll probably see a couple more come out very soon as well, but the attack is on the way from TvP. He's already got a decent sized Bioforce prepared. We've got 6 Marauders at the front, some Marines there as well, and these guys will have +1 to weapons in just a moment, and a couple of medevacs are also going to be on the way very soon. The Templar getting very eager to put down some Storms, but TvP, being well aware of what's coming, is putting down a really nice split on his units, and it looks as if he may just try and split and head towards this 3rd base here. That's a very common tactic that Terrans like to use on this map, is to make it look like you're coming inside this this particular section of the map, and then actually just head straight to the 3rd and clean it up if it's there, or otherwise just make sure it is clean. As we can see, TvP just doing this under the cover of this push. He's actually gotten up the 3rd base here, got an orbital here, which is a little bit surprising. I'm a little bit surprised to see him get an orbital instead of a planetary, but that's obviously up to him based on what he thinks is viable on the map. I would assume that he's probably just basing that on the fact that he has seen the Templar, which means that he can probably just rely a little bit more on his bio being a little bit more mobile on the map and able to defend things. But it looks as if a pylon went down. Ready just trying to get a little bit of a proxy going there, but it wasn't really up to scratch because it was right next to that 3rd base here. But he is prepared. He's got a couple of Zealots inside the main, along with a Templar, to make sure a Storm or feedback can go down on any possible drops that come through. Let's have a quick look at his vision here. He's got just the watchtower just on the left-hand side, making sure that he can cover this attack route here, and also most of this right-hand side as well. Meanwhile, for TvP, he's got his own watchtower, along with a couple of well-placed Marines and the factory, which is down at the southern side. So he's got a very decent sort of vision on the map here, along with the 3 orbitals that are sort of in action at the moment, along with a 4th command center coming up. Wow, TvP really looking to go into real hard macro mode here. So we'll see him probably get a 4th up as soon as he can, and these units will probably start getting their upgrades really going quite hard here. He's got +1 already, as we mentioned earlier on, +1 to armor also on the way, and the Ghost Academy is done. So TvP is going to be well prepared for these Templar. We'll have to see if he can get some good storms off. The Templar are sort of just running around a bit, trying to make sure they can get into a good position here. It looks as if TvP is going to try and get inside, just do a little bit of damage here. He's going to try and catch out one of the Templar, and he does get one. Is he going to get another? No, he is not, but that was a nice little snipe there without even using snipe, which is quite ironic, but he was able to take down one of the Templar, but there are still quite a lot of storms here available for Ready if he needs to use them. So we'll see what the plan is here from TvP. He's got a few of these medevacs ready. Look at this. He's just blasting inside. You know, soak up one of the storms with a small force. It does try and push through. A second storm goes down on the ramp. There is no way that TvP is getting up this ramp just as of yet, not to mention all of these charged lots at the back with that very, very quick +3 armor. As we can see, the double forge is already up, but Ready has been cranking out these upgrades as fast as he can. Protoss armor at level 3 already, along with +1 to weapons as well. So TvP is going to need to be just very careful here with how he goes about this. Some good feedbacks going down, taking down some of the ghosts, but the ghosts still get inside, snipe down the Templar, get some good EMPs down as well, and it looks as if TvP may have a little bit of time here to push. There are a couple of Templar at the back that escaped the devastation of those ghosts, and it looks as if TvP is going to try and push through, just really taking his time here. I do like how he's only stimming some of the units at the front. He's not doing like a heap of stim on every single unit. He's just sort of taking his time, just testing the waters to see if he can force a storm on a very small sort of group of units here, and then sort of head back, and if he can detect a little bit of weakness, he'll head inside and do more and more damage. But Ready has powered up quite a bit here. He's got a Colossus along with a few more Templar at the back, another Colossus on the way. Extended Thermal Lance is just about done. +2 to weapons is also on the way here as well. So we can see here that a Zealot has somehow just walked into the third base of TvP. He's going to go to town on this bunker, which is completely pointless, but a Ghost will come along and should be able to deal with that Zealot quick smart. But a battle is going on here. We've got some decent storms here from Ready. He's but that micro from TvP, while he does lose quite a few of these units, and a lot of them are now in the red, that was some brilliant splitting there to try and get those units out of danger before they could soak up too much of that. But now Ready is on the warpath. He's got his one Colossus, extended thermal lance done, +2 to weapons also on the way, and these Templar at the back going to be able to provide a lot of area of effect damage, which will of course blast apart the rest of these Marines here. A lot of these in those what are they? What does Day9 call them? The Halloween colors, I think he does, with the yellow and the orange there. But now with 2 Colossi here, Ready is going to be very threatening. He may be able to try and push inside, and if he can deny this 4th base here, that could be a very, very good point for him to take. But a Ghost comes along. He is cloaked up. There is no observer here. A storm going down to try and take down the Ghost, but the Ghost has an umbrella just walking through the storm, and he finally does go down, gets hit by that lightning, and is not going to go any further. But TvP, look at this macro here from him. He's got the Vikings all prepared. He's already got a few of them out on the map, and he's got +3, I should say, to his infantry weapons on the way, and +2 to the ship weapons also coming through. So the Vikings are going to be able to do a lot of damage to these Colossi if they can get good position. The game itself, we're currently sort of in a very odd position here, because TvP's obviously got his 4th base up, which is doing quite nicely here, providing him with a massive income. He's currently sitting at 75 to 68, but brilliant storms there from Ready. He's taking down quite a lot of the bio. The Vikings, however, are doing quite a lot of damage, and it looks as if TvP may sort of lose out in this battle here. He is going to take down the Colossi, which is a very huge win in his favor there, but the Vikings now landing to try and take down the rest of the Gateway forces on the ground will have to retreat, because TvP has got nothing else left to defend. So he's going to have to head back for now and try and regroup. It looks as if Ready has really been getting his forces maxed out as fast as he can. He's trying to get this 4th base up. If this goes up, then the game will become even again, but I just really think at the moment that TvP is in such a very decent position. Of course, he's got these fantastic upgrades on his bio units. He's got 2-2, and he'll have 3-3 very soon. Of course, the weapons will finish a lot faster than the armor will. but he is going to be in a very good spot. A nuke also building. We may see some tactical nuke strikes here. A couple of Templar are warped in, just getting ready to do some damage if need be. Extra gates also going up for Ready as well. Let's have a quick look at the Ready cam just to see what he is up to. Just making sure that this fourth base is secure, heading up a little Zealot force up the left-hand side of the map, seeing if that corner base is up, and just trying to make sure he's got a good position here, because I think he does know that Taeja's forces are just hanging about this fourth base, and this is going to be a very, very key base as well. And here we go, we're into the battle, and now we've got Taeja retreating for the moment because it looks as if he has detected that this attack is coming in. All of these Zealots now streaming inside this base. Looks as if we're going to have a fight, and Ready wants to force that fight because he wants to keep the bio down at this side of the map, and some huge storms going down. Looks as if Ready is going to be able to take quite a lot of the forces down of Taeja, and in fact, while this has been going on, the Zealots up at the third base have been taking care of all of these SCVs here. The orbital going down. A nuke looks like it was also going to be placed here for Taeja, but it looks as if he may not be able to get away from this fight. Losing the Ghost, losing a lot of this bio, and the Marauders and Ghosts are all going down here. The Medevacs will be next on the menu for those Archons, and the Zealots are going to be able to clean up the rest of this. So that is a great game and a very decent comeback there from Ready. He got that fourth base. That was a really key part of that, was getting that up and then forcing the fight here in this middle section where Taeja was trying to retreat, trying to make sure he could clean up these Zealots, but just was not able to get back in time because he had the forces of Ready hot on his heels. And that was a very nice move there from Ready. So Taeja, the new recruit for Team Liquid, fighting out quite nicely here, but unfortunately not able to take care of Ready. You could say he was not prepared. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, so we'll grab some more Taeja replays and have a look very soon. Thank you for joining me, guys. Cheers.